Well, hello YouTube. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today we're going to start working on uh, how to make your building great again. This will probably be, I think it's number 5, and this is probably going to be the end of the main series on how to make your building great again. Uh, Anything else will be just a little bit of, you know, fixing it up and making it nice. And I'll go over some of the things that I plan to do in the future, and those will be future videos, and they'll just be called something else. But I wanted to show these. I finally was able to get these, and I'm gonna uh, do some work on these things and clean them up. These are bins that the next door neighbor had that came out of a plumbing van, and they've got some pretty big bins in them, and I think they'll work great in the buildings that I'm building. And it'll hold a lot of metal and stuff like that, and they're pretty big, and I've got 2 of them. This one here, we got to do some straightening on it, and we're getting ready to start doing that. But I wanted to kind of go over the building to do a recap, and we'll just walk over here and check it out. You want to say hi? Nina says hi, but she don't look like she's really interested in saying hi. Call her Nina Queen, because she's the queen of the house. So here's what we've got so far. Yes, it's not the best building in the world, but considering what it looked like before, this is a lot better than what it was. Now, I've got to put trim around the edge of this, and the wasps are trying to take over this building for some reason already. They just started here a couple days ago, and I've got a fly swatter in there to make sure they don't take over. And I had to do this because for some reason I cut my door too short, so I had to extend it out, and I used this to space it out. And I knew I was going to put a 2x6 trim around the door anyway, so that really didn't make a whole lot of difference. It just helped me with a place to screw my board to anyway. And once I've done that, this part right here will be, I'll have a slot in the side of the 2x6 for this to go into, and I'll go in on the inside and just put a little screw in on the inside right here in this to screw it to the back side of the 2x6. So that'll strengthen that. And we'll do a walk around first if the sun don't bother us. And yes, I got my ladder there because something happened the other day. We had a windstorm, and one of those limbs came out of the tree and put a big old dent in the top. So I gotta fix that already. So already I've got to fix something. But it doesn't leak. The roof is good enough, and as soon as I get the money, I'm gonna go ahead and get some roof paint, fix that spot right there, and then put some paint on it so that it'll help it. See, we got bumblebees here trying to own this place, and they're not going to do it. We will take care of them. And I strengthened this part right here. If everybody remembers, there's a gap in there, and I overlapped the top one onto the bottom one, and we got a lot of trimming here to do, like putting stuff like that together. got the big window. And I haven't done this side yet. So there ain't nothing behind there. That's what I'm doing next. And we got this window. And what I planned on doing, once I've got the inside framed out, and I'll show you that here in a minute, I'm going to try something. I'm going to paint this thing a solid color, which will probably be a tan or a light brown. And then I'm going to try my hand at painting this thing camouflage. Alright, once I've got it painted camouflage, then I'm going to come in each one of these grooves right here, all the way around. And I'm going to cut a strip in there, and then I'm going to, probably the same thickness as this. Either put 2 small ones in here, or just get some 1x and do the whole thing and just cut out this groove so that it fits over top of it. And that will hide most of where I've had to put this together. This part here, there's not really a whole lot I can do about it, except for to take another piece of trim and go across from this piece to this piece. So that'll hide this part right here. Now that's all trim work. And I think this is going to make a really nice building. Alright, now let's walk inside here. If we don't get eaten. There's a bumblebee, or not a bumblebee, but a little bee. We got a wasp. Man, they're just really trying to take over in here. Now I'm going to try to put those bins right there. I'm hoping to putting them both together right along here. Them 2 bins that's sitting right out there. I'm going to see if I can line them up right there beside each other, and then move my barrel bin. This year's the barrel I'm going to use for all my long stock and just rods and short pieces of angle and stuff like that. And I put that shelf up there, and it's pretty solid. And to brace the outside where I showed you, I put a 2x6 right along here, and I've got that part of the video, I think, and I cut those 2x4s out and then just put it in there like a jigsaw puzzle and bolted it to each one of the 2x4s. So these 2x4s are pretty solid. They're not going anywhere. And we're going to do that to each one of these openings. And I've just had a lot of stuff going on right now, so this was put on hold until I was able to get them shelves. And we're going to do the same thing to everything, all the way around. Alright, then we've got the Bison logo on the door. I took this steel plate and put it on the door, and we'll shut it so you can see from the outside. All these bees are aggravating. They're going to be bad. And there's the door. So now we're going to go over here and put you on a tripod, and then we're going to straighten this piece right here and clean these up a little bit and get ready to put them in the building. Of course, I got to move a bunch of stuff around. I just put a bunch of stuff in my out of my shop into the building so I could get it out of my way. And stay tuned. Alright, now that we've got this shelf off of the top of the bin, we need to try to straighten it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take and first of all bend this out of our way, because what we want to do is I went and found 2 2x4s that are close to fitting. And what we're going to do is once we've got this straightened out on the end here, then we're going to put this 2x4 in there just like that, and then we're going to sandwich this in between that 2x4, and then we're going to clamp it down. And once we've got it clamped to where it's tight and everything's sandwiched in, then we're going to take the hammer and just kind of straighten this part right here. Now it's probably going to have some flex in it, but we'll take care of that with a brace on the back side of it once we've got it on the shelf. Now, that might straighten it out pretty much the way it should. Now we only wanted to take and bend out the part that's bent in. The outside we want to wait until we've got it sandwiched. So now we're going to take and sandwich that in with our clamp. You want this to be as close to the edge of that lip as you can get it, so that when you do bend it in, it'll be straight. Now I may have to take some longer clamps and do the other end, because once we tighten this down, that side's going to come up a little bit. So we might be able to get it down. And we're going to spin that around. We're going to push that down. Go ahead and put that in. So that worked out pretty good. So now we're going to tighten this up. Remember, you want to close this gap right here as much as you can. And then continue to tighten it. Alright, now we're going to take and answer the phone. Be right back. Well, that was a pleasant surprise. That was my buddy Evil Twin X calling me. So he's now in a video. But while he had me on hold, I went ahead and tapped these down, and we're just tapping down the high spots, because if you look, you have places that are touching, and then you got places that are not touching. So we're going to just tap them down a little bit, and now we get to test it out and see how far we got. It looks like it's straighter, but it's not as straight as I would like it to be, but it's a lot straighter than it was. So I think that will work. I could go a little further with it and put this board on there, but put a spacer, like let's say a spacer underneath this edge and a spacer underneath this edge, and then just take and squeeze that together. And if you squeeze it together, let's just hope we don't bend it any further than we want. Just a little bit further than what you actually want, and then let it loose. And it's still not right, but it's good enough that I don't need to worry about it looking terrible. So now we're going to take a dolly and put on the outside of this, and the outside of this right here where they bend in, and we're going to straighten that up. This is what I'm calling a dolly. These here, I've got several of these in different shapes and sizes that we use for body work. And basically what you do to use one of these is you set that on the side that is where the bent out part is away from this, and you got a gap. So you just take that and then you just straighten it up and get rid of the gap. And you do the same thing with this one. And this will be straight enough that I ain't got to worry about it. And this will help to straighten it again. This one here, I need a longer dolly, but I don't have one. So we're going to take the pliers or channel locks and bend that out a little bit further. Now that's pretty straight. Now if you look down that thing looks somewhat straight. It's got a little bit of a bend right here, but like I said, this is going to work. So now we get to go out here and put it back on. So we'll meet you outside. Alright, so now that we've got this straight, we're going to try to get these leaves out of here while this is open, so that I ain't got a plate to go under the shelf. Now, I've got them cleaned off, the best I'm going to clean them, and I wanted to kind of show you guys something. I had an idea when I was moving the first one. So, well, you know what, somebody out there probably would like to know this. How to move those by yourself with no help, and when you got a bad back, you got to do it in a way that it ain't going to hurt you. So instead of me lifting these things, I'm going to show you a trick on how to do that. Just roll it. Alright, now, I did this pretty decent. I'm debating on whether to change this shelf and bring it down to the fourth one like this one is. For the simple reason, when I put that one in, it lined up with that 2x6 that I put across the wall here. So it kind of added as like a shelf. So, I'm out of breath. And that will also allow me to put a screw into the back of this, into that 2x4. As you can see, yeah, we've already got a first box going in there. Now, I'm probably going to leave this section here open so that I can put all my tall stuff if it'll fit. Nope. Well, we'll have to think of another way to do that. We got to find a place for the new steel barrel, or the steel holding plastic barrel. And I don't know to put them together, we can probably just leave them apart. No, we're going to have to put them together, because if I want to put a piece of plywood in here, the only wall that I can put plywood against would be that wall back there. So if I ever get anything in here that needs to be stored for any amount of time, I'm going to have a way so that when I bring that plywood in here, I can just go back in that corner and then just kind of hinge it around and lean it against the wall. And there'll be nothing in that area behind you guys. And I see a bunch of ants trying to take over in here, and this is not going to be cool. I'm going to have to be on this building for a while. Ants here are really terrible, and the bumblebees, the carpenter bees, are absolutely just ridiculous. This is going to be a fight to keep these creatures out of here. But anyway, then we're going to go over here on this side, and we've got some shelving that's going to go right here in that corner behind the door. And the reason for that is to keep the door from actually opening any further than what it is right now. That's perfect the way it is right now. That way, if I bring a piece of plywood in here, you know, and put it back there in the corner, then I still have enough room to move this around here. And I have to think like that, because it's such a small building, you're limited to what you can actually do. So, but I think these are going to be nice little shelves to put in here, and I'll show you the roof where I've got to fix it from the inside look. This is the inside look of what that limb did. And oh, it makes me mad that I have to do that. I just got the roof up, and that night a windstorm came and put a dent in it. And that's some pretty solid stuff, so it hit pretty good. Hit right there, and apparently bounced off of there and landed over on the other roof of the house. So it was a violent drop. So there you go, the updated portion of the how to make your building great videos, part 5. And we're going to stop there, and then I'm going to probably just go ahead and work on this a little bit and off camera, and the next time I do part 6, then we'll show that finished and how we did it. So with all that said, please subscribe, like, comment. I'd like to hear what you got to say. And you guys have a good one. Later.